Panduranga Hi, Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Cham. I hope you're all doing very well. And so let's start off with a few announcements, and then we can get into the program. Hare Krishna, Vimohi, Manhar, Ishika, Agniba,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Navya.
Hare Krishna.
And so today in UTM, we have a pretty normal schedule as usual. We're going to be starting off with our CHAD, which is our chapter a day. We're on Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 at the moment. And then we also have our Ishopanishad after. And then we're going to be reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita from where we left off last week. And then we'll have just some quick breakout discussion rooms to kind of reflect on what we've read so far, because today's reading is a little inflection point or turning point in the entire book. And so it's a nice time to look back. And then we'll end with our general reflections and discussion before we close the call. And so before we get started, we always have our prayer. Would anyone like to nominate someone else to give the prayer today? You can put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand and just tell us. By nomination, you get to nominate someone else. So it's not you if you're scared of saying something. All right, let me see. I nominate Agnipa. Anyone second that?
Like, what is the prayer format? Like, how do you like give the
Yeah, I'll send it
prayer?
right now. Okay, Ishika seconds it. Perfect. All right. Um,
Uh,
Here you go, Agnipa. I sent it in the chat.
Dear Krishna, if you so desire, make this youth jam a good learning experience for all of us, and like make our minds pure and bless us all. Yeah.
You can finish off with the last part.
So, oh, yeah. Please consider a humble request.
Thank you, Agnivo. What a wonderful prayer. And I hope this UCHM as well is beneficial to you. All right, we'll get started with our Chad. I'll be reading the verses, and you can please feel free to follow with your muted mics. We'll be going through chapter 9 today. Sri Bhagavanuvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyamanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase shubhat Rajvidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyaksha Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam Ashraddhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani Maya tatam idam sarvam Jagadavyakta Murtina Matstani sarva bhutani na chaham teshvavastita na cha matstani bhutani pashyame yogam aishwaram bhuta bhrinna cha bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavana yathakasha sthito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्रामम् इमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृति सूयते सचराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितम् परं भावम् अजानन्तो मम भूत्वा महेश्वरम् मोघाशामोघकर्माणो मोघज्ञानविचेतसा राक्षसीम् आसुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिता महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिता भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रता नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञ स्वादाहम् अहम् औषधम् मन्त्रोऽहम् अहम् एवाज्यम् अहम् अग्निरहम् हुतम् पीताहम् अस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामह वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओङ्कार ऋक्साम यजुरेव च गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवास शरणं सुहृत् प्रभव प्रलयस्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम् तपाम्यहम् अहं वर्षं निगृह्णामुत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसच्चाहम् अर्जुन त्रैविद्यमां सोमपपूतपाप यज्ञैरिष्ट्वस्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ये पुण्यम् आसाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान् ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम् क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्यभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विता तेऽपि माम् एव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु माम् अभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितॄन् यान्ति पितृव्रता भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्तियुपाहृतम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मना यत्करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोषि ददासि यत्तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम् शुभाशुभफलैरेवं मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैस्यसि समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या म- मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम् अपि चेत्सु दुराचारो भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यग् व्यवसितो हि स क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शाश्वच्छान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति मां हि पार्थ विपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः पापयोनय स्त्रियो वैश्यास्तथा शूद्रास् तेऽपि यान्तिं परां गतिम् किं पुनर्ब्राह्मणा पुण्या भक्तराजर्षयस्तथा अनित्यम् असुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम् मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामैव वैश्यसि युक्त्वैवम् आत्मनं मत्परायणा ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्याय योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्ण अर्जुन संवादे राजविद्या राजगुह्य नाम नवमोऽध्यायः हरि ओम्. All right, now we will move to our Ishopanishad, which will be led by Tungavidya.
Hare Krishna. So we'll do recitation of Sri Ishopanishad. Pretty much the same as we just did Chad. You can all recite behind muted mics alongside me. And then we'll go through the verse or the translations at the end. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate ईशवस्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जिता मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम् कुर्वाणेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषिक्षतं सम एवं त्वयि नान्यते तोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे असूर्यनामते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृता तांस्ते प्रीत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये केचात्महनो जना अनेजाद् एकं मनसो जवीयो नैनद्देव आप्नुवं पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतोऽन्यान् तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपो मातरिश्वा दधाति तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दुरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य भायतः यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मानेवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैवाभूद्विजानतः तत्र को मोहकः शोक एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः सपर्यजक्षुक्रमकायमव्रणम् अश्नाविरं शुद्धमपापविद्धं कविर्मनीषी परिभूस्वयंभूर्यथा तत्यतोर्थान् व्यददाश्चास्वतीभ्यः समाप्यः अन्धं तमप्रविश्यन्ति ये विद्यामुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो य उविद्यायां रताः अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्यया अन्यदाहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचक्षिरे विद्यां चाविद्यं च यस्तद्भेदो भयं सः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्यायामृतमश्नुते अन्धं तमप्रविश्यन्ति ये सम्भूतिम् अन्यदेवाहुः Please skip one. अन्धं तमप्रविश्यन्ति ये सम्भूतिमुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो या सम्भूत्यामृता अन्यदेवाहुसम्भवात् अन्यदाहुरसम्भवात् इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचक्षिरे सम्भूतिं च विनाशं च यस्तद्भेदो वयं सः विनाशेन मृत्युं तीर्त्वा सम्भूत्यामृतमश्नुते हिरण्मायेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पुरुषान् अपावृणु सत्यं धर्माय दृष्टये पूषान् अकर्षयमसूर्यप्राजपत्य व्यूहरश्मिन् समूहात् तेजो यत्ते रूपं कल्याणतमं तत्ते पश्यामि योऽसावसौ पुरुषः सोऽहमस्मि वायुरनिलममृतम् अथेदं भस्मान्तं शरीरम् ॐ क्रतो स्मर कृतं स्मर क्रतो स्मर कृतं स्मर अग्नेऽनय सुपथाराय अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् प्रयुज्योऽस्मत् जुह्रानमेनो भूयिष्ठां ते नम उक्तिं विधेम ॐ श्री ईशोपनिषत् सम्पूर्णम् हरि Om. So now we'll go back through and read the translations. If you'd like to read, go ahead and raise your hand and then we can all read maybe three each or four. Let's do four. Agniva, start us off.
On screen share is saying it's paused. The screen share. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because He is completely perfect, all emanations from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself, because He is the complete whole. Even though so many complete units emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance. Everything, animate or inanimate, that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. One may aspire to live for hundreds of years if he continuously goes on working in that way, for that sort of work will not bind him to the law of karma. There is no alternative to this way for man. The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. Should I continue?
I think those are four. Thank you for
Yeah.
reading. Mayuri, go ahead. Mayuri, you're still muted. All right, we'll come back to you. Navya.
Yeah.
Navya, I think
Although
your
sorry.
I
Although
think your
fixed
connectivity is not the best.
Can you hear me?
Yes, as of right now, go ahead.
Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind, and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain. He surpasses all in excellence. The Supreme Lord is not far. He is far away and he is very near as well. He is within everything and yet he is outside of everything. He who sees systematically everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nova. Mayuri, is your mic?
Yeah, sorry.
No worries, go ahead.
Such a person must factually know the greatest of all, the personality of Godhead, who is unembodied, omniscient, beyond reproach, without veins, pure and uncontaminated, the self-sufficient philosopher who has been fulfilling everyone's desire since time immemorial. Those who engage in the culture of nescient activities shall enter into the darkest region of ignorance. Worse still are those engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge. The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge and that a different result is obtained from the culture of nescience. Only one who can learn only one who can learn the process of nescience and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. Those who are engaged in
Sorry, go ahead. I miscalculated.
Those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more so do the worshippers of the impersonal Absolute. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mayuri. Manha?
It is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities who clearly explained it. One should know perfectly the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and his transcendental name, form, qualities, and pastimes, as well as the temporary material creation with its temporary demigods, men, and animals. When one knows these, he surpasses death and the ephemeral cosmic manifestation with it, and in the eternal kingdom of God he enjoys his eternal life of bliss and knowledge. O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. O my Lord, O primeval philosopher, maintainer of the universe, our regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, well-wisher of the progenitors of mankind, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays, so that I can see your form of bliss. You are the eternal supreme personality of Godhead, like unto the sun, as am I.
Thank you, Manha. Ananya.
Let this temporary body be burnt to ashes, and let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, and because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you. O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisances, falling on the ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I've done in the past, please free me from the reactions from my past sins so that there will be no hindrance to my progress.
Perfect. All right. So thank you to everyone who read. And now we'll be doing a little bit of reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So we've been doing this for quite a while now, and we'll just start off from where we left off last week. So kind of the same thing. If you'd like to read, go ahead and raise your hands, and then we can each read about 2 paragraphs. And Mayuri, go ahead.
Thank you. On the morning of September 17th, 1959, in the 50 by 25-foot deity room on the second floor of the Keshavaji Math, a group of devotees sat before the deities of Radha and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. The deities were colorfully dressed in royal clothing and silver crowns. Radharani's right hand face palm forward in benediction for the worshipper. At her side, her left hand held a flower for Krishna. Krishna stood like a dancer, placing his right leg in a casual tiptoe pose before his left, playing his long silver flute, which he held gracefully to his red lips. His long black hair reached down past his shoulders, and the garland of marigolds around his neck reached down to his knees. On his right stood the deity of Lord Chaitanya, his right arm raised, left arm at his side, his body straight, feet together. He was a soft golden color, and he had large eyes, a well-formed red mouth, and straight black hair down to his shoulders. One level below the deities were pictures of the spiritual masters in disciplic succession. Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gorakishore Das Babaji, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Pragnana Keshava Maharaj. Abba sat on a mat of kusha grass beside 90-year-old Sanatan, also to receive sannyasa that day. Sitting opposite the two candidates, Narayana Maharaj, Keshava Maharaj's disciple, prepared to conduct the ceremony of mantras and offerings of grain and ghee into the fire. Akinchana Krishna Dasa Babaji, Abhai's godbrother, known for sweet singing, played mridangas and sang Vaishnava bhajans. Sitting on a raised asana, His Holiness Kesava Maharaj recited. Since there had been no notices or invitation, only the Mata's few residents attended. April.
Narayana Maharaj chanted the required mantras and then sat back silently while Keshav Maharaj lectured. Then, to everyone's surprise, Keshav Maharaj asked Abhay to speak. Abhay had not expected this. As he looked around at the gathering of devotees, he understood that the common language was Hindi. Only Keshav Maharaj and a few others spoke English, yet he knew he must speak in English. After Abhay's speech, each initiate received his sannyasa danda, the traditional head-high staff made of 4 bamboo rods bound together and completely enwrapped in saffron cloth. They were given their sannyasa garments, 1 piece of saffron cloth for a dhoti, 1 for a top piece, and 2 strips for underwear. But they also received tulsi neck beads and the sannyasa mantra. Keshav Maharaj said that Abhay would now be known as Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj and that Sanatana would be Muni Maharaj. After the ceremony, the 2 new sannyasis posed for a photo, standing on either side of their sannyasa guru who sat in a chair.
Keshav Maharaj didn't impose any strictures on Abhay. He simply encouraged him to go on preaching. Yet Abhay knew that to become A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami did not mean merely that he was giving up family, home comforts, and business. That he had done 5 years ago. Changing from white cloth to saffron cloth, from Abhay Babu to Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, had a special significance. It was the mandate he had required, the irrevocable commitment. Now it was only a matter of time before Bhaktivedanta Swami would travel to the west as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati had ordained. This was Bhaktivedanta Swami's realization of his new sannyas status. The Gaudiya Patrika's account of the sannyas initiation included a biographical sketch of Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, listing the major events of his life. The article concluded. Seeing his enthusiasm and ability to write articles in Hindi, English, and Bengali, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gave him the instruction to take Tridandi sannyas. For nearly 1 year, he had been ready to accept sannyas. In the month of Bhadra, on the day on which Vishwarupa accepted sannyas, Bhaktivedanta Swami at the Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Mutt accepted sannyas from the founder of the Vedanta Samiti, Bhakti Pragnana Keshava Maharaj. Seeing him accept his ashram of renunciation, seeing this pastime for accepting the renounced order of life, we have attained great affection and enthusiasm. Navi, you can start reading from the top where it says the chapter title, and then from there on.
Chapter 10. This momentous hour of need. Our capacity of presenting the matter in adequate language, especially a foreign language, will certainly fail, and there may be so many literary discrepancies in spite of our honest attempt to present it in the proper way. But we are sure that with our faults in this connection, the seriousness of the subject matter will be taken into consideration, and the leaders of the society will accept this on account of its being an honest attempt for glorifying the Almighty Great, so much now badly needed.
You can read that first paragraph as well.
Bhaktivedanta Swami, accompanied by some of uh, Keshavji Mutt's devotees, made a short preaching tour of Agra, Kanpur, Jhansi, and Delhi. But he was soon back in his own place at the Vamsi Gopalji Hotel. No one called him Abhay Babu any longer. Even amongst his friends, it was Swamiji or Maharaj. And people often addressed him as Swami Bhaktivedantaji, Swami Maharaj, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. People readily recognized him as a sadhu and offered respect. Yet his basic problems remained. He wanted to write and print, but he had no money. He wanted to broadcast the message of Godhead, but there were few willing to listen. Such things hadn't been changed by his becoming a Swami.
When a librarian advised Bhaktivedanta Swami to write books, they were permanent, whereas newspapers were read once and then thrown away. He took it that his spiritual master was speaking through this person. Then an Indian army officer who liked Back to Godhead suggested the same thing. Bhaktivedanta Swami took it as a revelation from his spiritual master. As a dependent servant, constantly meditating on the desires of his transcendental master and seeking his guidance, Bhaktivedanta Swami felt his spiritual master's reciprocal blessings and personal presence. More and more, he was feeling confidential contact with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, and now he was feeling an inspiration to write books. He considered Srimad Bhagavatam because it was the most important and authoritative Vaishnava scripture. Although Bhagavad Gita was the essence of all Vedic knowledge, presented in a brief ABC fashion, Srimad Bhagavatam was elaborate. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati and Bhakti Vinod Thakur had both written Bengali commentaries on the Bhagavatam. In fact, most of the great Vaishnava acharyas of the past had commented on Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya himself had recommended Srimad Bhagavatam as a spotless Vedic literature. An English translation and commentary for this book could one day change the hearts of the entire world, and if he could publish even a few books, his preaching would be enhanced. He could go abroad with confidence and not appear empty-handed.
One day, Gaurachand Goswami, proprietor of the Radha Damodar temple, approached Bhaktivedanta Swami, inviting him to come live at the Radha Damodar temple. Being the eternal home of Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami, it would be more suitable for his writing and translating. Bhaktivedanta Swami was interested. He had never stopped his regular visits there, and he always felt inspired in the presence of the Samadhi tombs of the great leaders of Lord Chaitanya's movement, Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami. But when he went to look at the two available rooms, he found them in poor repair. They had not been maintained or lived in for many years. Not wanting to miss the opportunity, however, Bhaktivedanta Swami agreed to take the rooms at 5 rupees per month. He estimated that for a little more than 500 rupees, he could have electricity installed and extensive repairs made, and when it was finished, he could move in. Bhaktivedanta Swami saw the invitation as auspicious, and living there would complement his new project of presenting Srimad Bhagavatam in English. Of all Vrindavan's temples, Radha Damodar had the largest collection of original writings by the six Goswamis and their followers. More than 2,000 separate manuscripts, many of them 300, some even 400 years old. Bhaktivedanta Swami looked forward to residing there someday and serving in the company of Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami. For now, he would remain at the Vamshi Gopalji temple, and with whatever money he could collect, he would gradually repair the ruins.
It was an important maxim of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's that a preacher should go to the cities and not remain in the seclusion of a holy place. So, in that spirit, Bhaktivedanta Swami continued commuting to Delhi, even though to him it was a hell, and even though he had no fixed residence there. Often he was taken in by businessmen who felt obliged on the basis of Indian culture. A good man, if he wanted to be favored by God, should accommodate the sadhus and give them meals and a place to stay. But the vision of such pious men was a sentimental Hinduism, and their receptions were artificial. They could not really appreciate Bhaktivedanta Swami's work, and Bhaktivedanta Swami was not of a mind to impose himself upon such hosts. Then he spoke with Mr. Hitsaran Sharma, manager of the Radha Press. In the past, Mr. Sharma had printed flyers and stationery for the League of Devotees, and Bhaktivedanta Swami had stayed in Mr. Sharma's house on occasion. Mr. Sharma introduced Bhaktivedanta Swami to Pandit Sri Krishna Sharma, a caste Brahmana and an active religionist, secretary to the century-old Delhi religious society Sri Naval Prem Sabha. Out of sympathy for Bhaktivedanta Swami's literary labors, Krishna Pandit gave him a room in his Radha Krishna temple in the Chippiwada neighborhood of Old Delhi. Now Bhaktivedanta Swami would have a permanent office in Delhi. Mayuri, go ahead.
The train from Mathura would arrive at the Old Delhi station near Chandni Chowk, the broad avenue down which poured a river of workday traffic. Rickshaws, bicycle riders, sometimes a dozen abreast, autos in lesser numbers, men running on foot, pulling heavy carts, and beasts of burden, donkeys, oxen, an occasional or elephant, carrying heavy loads and being driven by men with whips in their hands. From the intensely busy Chandni Chowk, Bhaktivedanta Swami would take the short walk to Chippiwada, past the Red Fort, keeping the Gauri Shankara temple on his left, then proceeding along a side street past the large imposing Jama Mosque. Near Chippiwada, the streets would become narrow. Chippiwada had been a Muslim neighborhood until the India-Pakistan partition of 1947, when thousands of Punjabi Hindus had settled there. Chippiwada was sort of a mixed Hindu-Muslim neighborhood, so crowded with people that cars were not allowed to enter the streets. Only ox carts and rickshaws could penetrate the narrow, crowded lanes, and in some areas the lanes were planted with iron posts to keep rickshaws out. Even a bicycle rider would create havoc among the densely packed crowds of shoppers and workers who moved along the streets and lanes. Side streets led to other side streets, lanes so narrow that the second floor balconies on opposite sides of the street were only inches apart, practically forming a roof over the street, so that a pedestrian could glimpse only the narrowest patch of sky. Private yards, shops, and alleys became almost indistinguishable from the public thoroughfares. Although most shops bore signs in Hindi with subheadings in English, some bore the curvy scripts of Arabic, and women dressed in black with veiled faces were a common sight. In the heart of this intense city life was the narrow entrance of Krishna Pandit's Radha Krishna temple, with a plaque of the demigod Ganesha with a row of nesting pigeons just above its simple arched door.
Thank you. Navya?
The temple, with its resident families, retained some of the tenement atmosphere of the neighborhood. Although the temple room was dark, the Radha Krishna deities on the altar were illuminated. Radharani was the color of green. And sorry, one second. Sorry. And Krishna was black marble instead of a tall. He was decorated with dots of fresh sandalwood pulp and a mask of yellow sandalwood on his forehead. Both deities were dressed in silk garments. On the second floor, just above the deity room, there was a guest room, Bhaktivedanta Swami's room. Its cement walls and floors were completely bare. Protruding up from the floor was a 3 foot high concrete pyramid with a spire, indicating that the deities were directly beneath. Bhaktivedanta Swami soon found that his room was not secluded, but was side by side with other residential rooms. Outside the door, a metal grating smaller than in the Vamsi Gopalji temple in Keshavji Math revealed a small temple courtyard below. From the roof, hardly a single tree could be seen. The view was of tenement rooftops so tightly crowded together, it seemed one could walk from roof to roof all the way to the colossal Jama Masjid. The mosque's 3 large domes, surrounded by tall minarets, rose high above the ordinary buildings, attracting flocks of pigeons which perched on the domes or flew in a wheeling patterns in the sky.
Thank you, Naka. I think we'll end here for today. Um, so actually what we'll do next is we're gonna break into two different rooms, two breakout rooms, and then we have a couple of discussion questions based off of what we read from today's reading of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So I believe Precious Bhavana, whenever you have that ready. Right. Most of you or all of you should have gotten an invitation to join a breakout room. So go ahead and join.
This is like our breakout.
I think the other group is coming back pretty shortly. So
Variation, everyone. I think everyone's back, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. How are the breakout rooms today? Let's give an emoji. All right, we got some hands raised, we got some hearts, thumbs ups, we got a party popper from Munhar. All right, so now that we have some time for our discussion and reflections, feel free to share something from the breakout rooms, maybe that you learned from someone else, and you can share it with the rest of us who weren't so privileged to hear that same discussion. And if you want to share any reflections from your week, this is a great time to do that as well. Before we head into that, actually, I think so. Today is Vimohi's first time coming to Youth Jam. Maybe Vimohi, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Just tell us where you're from and what brings you to Youth Jam.
Okay, Hare Krishna. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure that that Prabhuji like came here and he told us about the youth jam, and I was like really interested and I wanted to join.
That's wonderful, Vimohi. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Manhar, is it also your first time?
I've been joining for like a month or two, I think.
A month or two. Okay, perfect. Hare Krishna. Welcome, Vimohi. And now we can head into our discussion. If anyone has any points, feel free to raise your hand. All right, then. Well, I think everyone's very satisfied with how their breakout rooms went and how the reading went today. Well, we will see you next week again for Youth Jam. Same time, 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. EST. And we're very grateful for all of you joining here today. And I hope to see you again. Hare Krishna.